on this
You're Mr. Wizard.
Yeah, on this new technology, it's really hard for a lot of retirees. Some of the people in our retirees club in their mid-80s and all, they don't have email, anything like that. One of our guys that comes all the time, he says, even on his remotes for his TV house, says he gets his 6-year-old great-grandson to come over and program everything. But I've been helping for this presentation. Several of you in the room has been through this before. And I started helping when Charlie became the director. And that's when I do it the way we did it back at my club. And we did it from an organizer's perspective. And when I used to be in the organizing department, was the Grand Lodge rep out in the field, worked all over the United States and Canada. And then became the director before I retired in 2009. And trying to get organized in a club and all is really no different than if he was trying to organize a shop out here to bring the union in. There's certain basic principles about it in the way you do it. So the first section, we'll go over all this, and you've got some handouts and all. But please stop me and ask questions as we're going, because I like to have participation. And to, if you don't understand anything or why, because we'll take as long as we need. And then in the second section, we're going to break out, have some breakout sessions. And we'll put together an action plan that what will you be doing when you go back to your local lodge on how to start a club. And we'll use the same principle on the action plan. Was anybody at the 2005 Organizing Summit in Chicago? The primary resource you got for Retirees Club is the retirees. You've got to find some actors. And I started talking with people I knew, and I'd been gone from my local since 1987 as a full-time staff person. But I got to talking with some people that would agree to help with forming our club. Now, we'll look at one of our guys, a guy named Jesse Haney. And Jesse, in our shops there, he was transferred around quite a bit. So he knew a lot of people. And I had lunch with him at Shoney's, and I said, Jesse, I want to start a retirees club. And I'd like for you to help on that. And he leaned across the table and looked me dead in the eye. He said, Larry, not only would I like to do that, I would love to do it. And really emphasize that. And so I got that person. Then I talked with Bill Cox, Marlon, and some of you's in the room know Bill. He agreed to, and we started from there. And you've got to have the support of your local lodge officers and membership. So what I did actually before really getting real involved, I went to our local lodge leadership, and they backed us 100%. They thought it was a great idea. And why do you think you really need your local lodge officers and membership to support you on it? You was talking yesterday, just the opposite. Because, yes?
Because of resources.
They got resources, but one of the main things that a lot of local lodge officers have always been afraid of, in my entire involvement, is the retirees can become a threat to them. And they don't want no threats. And if you just come up and start telling them, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, they're going to say, I don't think so, or something like that, because it's challenging. If you go talk with them and talk about, we want to help our members, and especially these people have fought the battles for us. There's a lot of strikes. There are people who've been on them for retirees. And so we had 100% support of the officers. Then we brought it up to the membership at one of the meetings. And they helped us with funding our club. So it was a unanimous vote to support us with the membership. And they voted to give us $1,000 per year to help with our club. And now this $1,000, we don't get $1,000 in a lump sum. We get it by being reimbursed for expenses. And I doubt if we've gone over $1,000. But they also told us, if that's not enough, we'll get you some more. And I thought that was pretty cool, you know. Because a lot of times they don't like to let go of money, and they don't want to see somebody that's a threat to them. But if you orchestrate it, they look like heroes too. Because the retirees, if you got that retirement card, you can still vote for the constitutional officers and all. You just can't vote on a contract or anything like that, so that becomes a threat at times. But you take that threat away, and they'll be your allies.
Larry?
Yes.
I just want to make one comment on that.
Yeah, sure.
As far as TCU goes, we still are a subsidiary. We still are governed by our own constitution.
Right.
So retirees cannot vote for local officers. We can vote for other issues, but not local officers or contractual obligations. So that creates kind of a problem there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it would. And see, like in Machinists, if you're a full dues paying member, like I've been retired, but I still pay full dues. And I could run for an office because I'm paying full dues, but that's out of the question. I wouldn't even consider it, you know, because once you retire, I mean, that's it for people like me, other than doing this. And so you need support from your district lodge. Because in a lot of places, the district lodge is the controlling entity over it, because the locals are subordinate to the districts. So I talked with the district lodge, 100% support from all the business agents in the district. They thought it was a great idea. And would help us any way they could. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. Ricky Wallace was our DBR. That's why I'm so glad that he's now over the retirees department, because his history of supporting retirees is nothing short of being fantastic. And so then we need a good support from the State Council of Machinists. And why do you think the State Council would be a benefit to starting your club? Dave?
Because they have the whole state to draw from, and they have the wherewithal to contact everybody with one, either email or mailing, and help you set up subsidiary clubs throughout the entire state.
Correct. And
here's my take on being involved with the Machine State Councils. This is just a fact, right? We have, well, I can't say we have 50 because I know the Dakotas, Georgia Dakotas are one. So let's say we have 49, right? Let's just say if we do have 50, that gives us 100 meetings annually. Okay. Then we have the state's conferences, which gives the territorial biennial basis. So to just a bridge from what Dave was talking about, it allows us to have that continuity in as far as being in touch. Okay?
And they're all right on that State Council. We had 100% support from the State Council. And at the time of that, the president of the Tennessee State Council was also Ricky Wallace. So you know they were going to support us if the district did. And everybody thought it was a great idea. And at every state council meeting, we have 2 a year in Tennessee, is they always call upon us retirees to, if anything we want to say, bring up before the state council, we're always afforded that opportunity. They go out of their way to do that. And we fundraise at times, and when we did our fundraising in our local, was not fundraising to stay in our local, it was for the international retirees department. And the last time, I think it was probably 2 years ago, that we sold raffle tickets. Some of you probably sold them raffle tickets. You know, they used to pass out here. And then it went away. But the last year that the state council would always let us have a table set up where we could sell the tickets as the delegates are registering for the state council. Because there's always people selling tickets. State council always runs a reverse raffle. And they allowed us to sell our tickets. In that last year on the tickets, we ended up selling a little over 25% of all the tickets sold nationwide were sold from our 480, local 480 group, by having the ability to sell them at state council too. Plus we, you know, see our members, and Brother Cox was, he's real involved in the Democratic Party in Knox County, so he always sold a bunch there. You know, politicians are always wanting you to give them some money, and it's hard for them not to give you some when you ask them. So we raised a lot like that. If you can get retired staff people, retired business agents, retired Grand Lodge reps, they can be a big asset to help you. And the territorial GVP. And at the time we started, Machinists was the GVP for the Southern Territory. And Bob was 100% supporting us. And he's the IP now. So he's a big supporter of retirees. So we're very fortunate on some of those items. And then the Retirees Community Service and Membership Department was part of the Retirees Department responsibility. And we always had 100% support from when Charlie was in there, and we do now with Ed. So can you see the importance of going through the chain of command and getting everybody to support you? And that takes away the fear that you can become a threat to them.
Say, Larry, one
Yes.
comment I want to make too on the State Council of Machinists. In Minnesota, we have 2 conferences a year also.
Yeah.
And their support has been, you know, very wonderful, I mean, on their side of it.
Yeah.
And what probably 2 things that I really got out of it the most were, there's a lot of issues during their conferences, a lot of retiree issues come up during these conferences. So it's very appropriate that retirees attend these. And second of all, which I thought was wonderful, was when they had breakout sessions, they talked about in small groups different issues in the workplace that are happening now with active workers. And the retirees, as part of this group, can contribute to their experiences of the many years that they've had working in the workplace and how they've handled these certain things. So the active employees benefit from the experience, and then plus the retiree people are also learning what's going on in the workplace today after they retired. So it's just a wonderful thing, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember at one of our classes we put on, several of the people was from Minnesota and decided they were going to work at Mary Sanson.
Yes.
And Michael, I can't remember Michael's last name.
Madden.
He's a railroad worker.
Michael Madden.
Yes. And they put together a club, and I guess they put together a nice newsletter for the retirees and all. So they've done a good job in Minnesota.
Very good.
So, now, if you're going to try to organize a club, there's certain basic information you need. Just like if you were going to organize a shop out there. How many ever helped organize the shop you're out at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you know, with the way we used to do the organizing program, you had to have this basic information. Before you could organize a shop, you needed to know certain information. Same way if you're trying, now this is looking at it from trying to organize clubs all over your state. Because we try to get people to be coordinators that could help statewide. Where that, like Ed could call the coordinators in Tennessee, and they could concentrate on Tennessee. And if it was in Missouri, he'd call on the coordinators in Missouri by respective states. And there wasn't a lot of traveling from one area to the other across the country. Now you might travel some across the state, but what I did, I said, well, we're going to do it from a state perspective. We need the names of the local lodges and the type of lodge in the state. You know, like if it was a manufacturing facilities, if they were railroad facilities, and so, because you got to have some knowledge of who the people are you're going to try to get some clubs for them. And you need to know who the local lodge officers are, because these are the people you're going to be going to. It's pretty easy if it's your own local lodge you're talking to, but if you're going down to another local, you know, you need to know who those people's names are, so when you start talking with them, you know, it's almost like you become friends. And if you become friends with people, they're more apt to help you do something than if you're just asking somebody, hey, I need this done, I need this done. You know, it don't work that well. And the locations of the lodges. And also the district lodges, because in some states, you'll have multiple districts. And so you need to know who they are. In Tennessee, we've now consolidated through mergers and whatever. We basically got one district now statewide. But when we started, we had, it was about 3 districts statewide. Because we still had the woodworkers district and another local district out of Memphis. So you need to put together of who you want to see. So then as we branch out and have this this information here, and we got a letter put together, and we sent this letter to all the local lodges in the state of Tennessee. We identified them, and this handout you have was a letter we sent out in 2011.